Today we're going to take a look at the 4th generation Mercury Cougar. Now this car was essentially a Ford LTD II that was redesigned, but Mercury had a completely different sales approach than the rest of Ford Motor Company. They were going to use sex appeal to sell this car. They had Farah Fawcett, they had Cheryl Tiegs, they had live Cougars, they had sexy music in the background, and they had a deep-throated announcer. So how did that sales approach work for Mercury? Well, let's take a look.
New action for the cat set. And a new symbol of driving excitement. Mercury Cougar XR7 with a total new look for 77. Bold, strong, aggressive. More of a Cougar than ever before. Deeply padded. Luxurious. Front disc brakes. Steel belted radials. And a stance on the road that says, "This is my private domain." This year, XR7 unleashes new excitement. A pack of new Cougar running mates. A spacious four-door Brougham with luxury ride engineered by Lincoln Mercury specialists. More XR7 excitement. In a sporty Cougar wagon with rich wood-tone paneling fresh from the lair and yards of cargo space. New luxury, new action for the cat set. See all the new Cougars for 77 at the sign of the cat.
The 1977 Cougar was introduced in September 1976 as a 1977 model. It was body-on-frame construction and offered in 3 body configurations: the 2-door coupe, the 4-door sedan, or the 5-door wagon. 3 trim levels were offered: the base trim, upscale Brougham, or the sportier XR7, the latter being only available in a coupe. The new Cougar featured a C-pillar in the coupes with a fixed glass section to allow for proper window alignment during operation, while sedans had more of a standard C-pillar. The XR7 and Brougham both featured opera windows, while the base Cougars did not. The front of the car featured a long hood, a waterfall grille, 4 horizontal headlamps, and bumperettes. The rear of the car featured 2 wraparound tail lamps with either a faux spare tire cover panel for the XR7 coupes or a reflective panel between the tail lamps on the sedan. The wagons were basically the previous generation Montego wagon with the new Cougar front end bolted on. All were equipped with power front disc brakes, drum rear, full coil spring suspension, front and rear stabilizer bars, tuned shock absorbers, and steel belted radials. The car's suspension was set up for a smooth and quiet ride and not for handling. It featured extensive soundproofing, utilizing over 60 pounds of sound deadening material. The standard engine in the Cougar was the 134 horsepower, 302 cubic inch Windsor 2-barrel V8. Optional engines included the 161 horsepower, 351 cubic inch M V8 or the 173 horsepower, 400 cubic inch V8. Both were topped by a 2-barrel carburetor, and all were mated to Ford's Select Shift 3-speed automatic transmission. Mercury opened the option book for these cars. Popular options included the AM/FM stereo with quadrasonic 8-track tape player, bucket seats, glamour metallic paint, 2-tone paint, protective body side moldings, a landau or full vinyl roof, wire wheel covers, or cast aluminum wheels. Comfort and convenience options included Select air conditioning with automatic temperature control, remote left-hand mirror control, a rear window defroster, a sport instrument dash panel, power windows and locks, a power moonroof, 6-way power seats, speed control, a leather-wrapped steering wheel, a tilt steering wheel, and leather-trimmed seating surfaces. Performance options included a heavy-duty battery and alternator, a traction-lock rear axle, and a trailer towing package. The automotive press reviews were not great. They felt the gas mileage was slightly better than the competition. However, Consumer Guide magazine stated there is very little about the car that will prove to be of lasting value. These negative reviews fell on deaf ears with the American public. The new Cougar sales were up over 100% year over year, with Mercury dealers delivering 194,823 Cougars for the 1977 model year.
Midnight is mystery. Midnight is excitement. Now, midnight is Cougar, the Midnight Cat, in midnight blue and chamois. A bold new Mercury Cougar XR7 for 78 with deeply cushioned buckets, floor shift, console, and padded tire deck. Cougar XR7 Midnight Cat.
Isn't this your year to join the cat set?
1978 was mostly a carryover year, however it did bring some changes to the Cougar lineup. The Cougar wagon was dropped as Mercury was transitioning over to the Zephyr wagon. Mercury launched decor options for the XR7. There was the decor option which featured the saddle-colored vinyl split bench seat with individual armrests, styled steel road wheels, color-keyed full-length body side moldings, a luxury steering wheel, decor group door trim panels, 18-ounce Tiffany carpeting, and hood stripes. Then there was the Midnight Chamois decor option, which featured a dark blue and saddle exterior and interior. It utilized vinyl straps over the top of the padded vinyl Landau roof. Vinyl was applied to the faux spare tire bump on the rear of the car as well. There were no other changes of note for the Cougar. Sales remained strong for Mercury as dealers delivered 213,270 Cougars in 1978. That was the highest single-year total in Cougar history.
Phantom of the night. Elegant. Elusive. Introducing the Phantom Cat, a bold, distinctive Mercury Cougar XR7 in midnight blue and chamois, with a hauntingly beautiful new face, elegantly styled, deeply cushioned. A luxurious Mercury Cougar XR7 called the Phantom Cat.
Isn't this your year to join the cat set?
1979 is also mostly a carryover year for the Cougar. Mercury discontinues the 400 cubic inch V8 engine as an option. Mercury added color inserts for the grille on some of the decor packages, and the tail lamps were now 3 stacked horizontal segments. There were no other changes of note. The Cougar continues to sell well, with Mercury dealers delivering 172,152 Cougars for the 1979 model year. At the beginning of the video, I asked, would this sales approach work on the American public in the late 70s? And the answer is, yes, it did.
I want one.
No.
But you don't have to take my word for it. The numbers speak for themselves. Ford Motor Company sold 3,591 less LTD IIs than Mercury sold Cougars during this 3-year run. That's impressive, especially when you consider the Mercury was more money and there were less Mercury dealers across the United States. The Cougar and Thunderbird would be built on the same platform in the next generation. It would be the Fox body generation. That's a totally different car, and these cars were much more closer aligned in the next generation. Of course, that's a story for another video. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please click the like button. That helps others see it. Also, consider subscribing. I have plenty of content like this on my channel. Like this video over here, it's on the 2nd generation Mercury Cougar. We get into the different models and features and options. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. Till next time, we'll see you.